I have to cook dinner. I have here my Instant Pot, my regular sized Instant Pot, and I'm going to start by turning it on to saute. And I guess I should tell you what we're making. We're making beef stroganoff, kind of, because I found a pack of beef in the back of my freezer when I cleaned it out when I got a new fridge today. So I figure let's use it because it's been in there a while, since September at least. It's fine. Into the bottom of my pot while it's heating up, some butter, that much. I'm gonna take my beef and I'm gonna throw it in this bowl that I have. You can't see it, but it does exist. See? Told you. This is like beef stew meat or stroganoff meat, I don't know. After you touch raw meat, wash your fucking hands. I have some Jane flour, it's bread flour, it really doesn't matter. I'm just gonna take a little scoop of flour and put it on my beef, like so, a couple tablespoons. All purpose is fine. Salt and pepper. Pepper, salt, and buttery steakhouse. Because it sounds good. Now, I could just stir this with the fork, but because I have a lid for this container, I'm just gonna pop a lid on it and shake it. Ideally, you'd have a bigger container because my container might be too small. The face is important, and making sure the lid is all the way on is actually important. Good enough. I don't care enough. Voila, my beef is coated. Dumping it into my Instant Pot. And I'm gonna let that start to brown up in the bottom. While my beef is cooking, I am going to put 2 cups of chicken broth, beef broth, whatever you have. I just have chicken broth. Into a measuring cup. Doesn't have to be a measuring cup, but I guess I'm measuring 2 cups. And then a packet of Lipton onion soup mix. I think this is beefy onion soup mix, but it's outside of its box, and it was in my packet drawer. So I assume that's what this is. One can hope. And I'm gonna add a splash or 2 of Worcestershire sauce. Stir this shit around, and also stir this shit around. I probably should check and see if I have any noodles. Looks like I have a half a bag of egg noodles. That'll work. All right, my beef has a little brown to it, a little crispy bits to it. So now I'm going to add my chicken broth, my onion soup mix, and my Worcestershire sauce right on in. Make sure you get all that goodness out of the bottom of your measuring cup. You are going to take your spoon and scrape it along the bottom of your pot. This is deglazing it. We are trying to get all those crispy bits that fond up off of the bottom so that you don't get a burn notice when we turn this on to pressure cook. This is not the right spoon to get crispy bits off of the bottom. Let me go grab a wooden spoon. This is the utensil you're looking for. If you don't do this step in about 5 minutes after you turn it on to pressure cook, your pressure cooker will not come all the way up to pressure. It will just yell at you that things are burning in your pot, and you don't want that. That delays dinner, and we don't want a delay to dinner. Make sure you have your sealing valve. It needs to be set to sealing. Line your lid up. There's an arrow on your lid, and there's an arrow on your pot. Line it up, lock it in, pressure cook, and we are going to pressure cook it, more pressure, 15 minutes. And we will allow it to naturally release pressure for about 10 minutes. So it's going to come up to pressure, cook for 15 minutes, and then naturally start decreasing in pressure on its own for about 10, and then we will vent it, and we'll continue with our book report. My Instant Pot now reads L010, which means it is releasing pressure and has been doing so for 10 minutes. So now it is time for me to vent my Instant Pot. Like so. There's not a lot of pressure left inside because it has already been coming down in pressure for the last 10 minutes. And I have here probably a little less than a half a bag of egg noodles, but it's fine. I'm not that hungry anyways. My kids aren't gonna eat it, so I wish they would. It smells phenomenal in here. You could totally do this in a slow cooker. You would just throw all the ingredients into a slow cooker and at the end add in cooked egg noodles. I don't like cooking noodles in a slow cooker if I can help it, but you could do it, I guess. The pin has now dropped. You could hear it fall down, and now I'm able to open it safely. And if you did not know, there's a lid rest on the side of your Instant Pot, on both sides. I'm going to give this a stir, and this is what it's looking like. I am now going to add my egg noodles right into the pot and make sure it's in an even-ish layer. Not everything has to be submerged. It will be okay, but the more submerged, the better. I'm gonna hit cancel and pop my lid right back on, And then I am going to pressure cook for 2 minutes. Make sure your pot is set to sealing, and then we will quickly release it once the 2 minutes are up. It will take a lot less time this time because everything's already hot. My pot now reads L000, which means it is cooked for 2 full minutes after coming up to pressure. That probably took like 7 minutes total. And I will go ahead and vent my Instant Pot. Now this will have a lot more pressure in it this time because it has not naturally released any of the pressure. So just give it a minute. And it's probably at this point that I should tell you that my friend Manny says that he can make a beef stroganoff better than me. I don't believe him, but go watch his video and let us know who did it better. You guys really liked it when we did it with our cheesy taco rice, and I won, hands down. And I have a feeling I'll win hands down this time because that man likes to use so many dishes to make a really easy meal, but it looked good. And yeah, I am throwing shade, he knows. I'm gonna go pop a bag of frozen corn in the microwave because that feels like a good side dish for this meal. The pin on my pressure cooker has now dropped, so that means there's no more pressure in this pot and I can remove the lid safely. This is what it's looking like. Now at this point, I would actually like it to have a little bit more juice and gravy, and I thought that it was going to have some left, but most of it has been absorbed, and that's okay. I am going to turn it off and back on saute. I am going to take some chicken broth, a little more than a cup, not really measuring, some sour cream, probably like a half a cup. I mean, displacement of liquids and all that. And a little bit of brown gravy mix, maybe like a packet worth or less. I'm going to mix this thoroughly to ensure that when I pour this into my pot, I don't end up with any dumplings of any form or fashion. Any sour cream dumplings, any gravy dumplings. You don't want chunks if you can help it. Throwing that right into my pot, and I'm going to give it a good stir. And I'm just going to let this simmer for a minute on saute until it's to my desired consistency. And this is what it's looking like after simmering for a few minutes with the sour cream and gravy added in. My stroganoff is now thick and creamy, and it's time for me to plate this shit up and give it a taste. Here you have it, 1 pot stroganoff. And I know what you're thinking, is it even good? And is yours better than Manny's? Yeah. Let's give it a taste. Oh, that is so good. But of course it's good. I made it. Follow along for more aggressive tutorials. Dinner time, guys.